Okay, I just put the new bearings in on the CTC, and what a difference those bearings made on how precise when it does the y-axis there. Before that rod in the back here, if I look here, there's a bearing there. There's one over here, and there's two on the other side here that I added to keep these bars back here from flexing when it goes back and forth. And my layers are basically as it makes a layer and goes around from one end to the other. They used to have like little ripples and kind of had like different shading. They are basically all the same texture and the same thickness when it goes back and forth. So there's no distortion now. I think it's going to have a better print, especially on round objects. As it's going around, it won't have any flex on that belt. And that belt, basically, if you push on here, it doesn't flex at all, and you'd be able to bend that whole thing before, and made a difference. What I did is went to Hobbytown, and those bearings in there, I printed off the pillow bracket off of thingiverse, and it called for a 5 by 11 by 4 metric bearing, and you can use RC bearings for RC cars, and Hobbytown had them in stock for $3.50. I think I showed them before, $3.50 a piece, and they work great. And I'll put a link on the parts I used. I also added this chain assembly to reroute the wires here, because I've had a it's my classroom that I teach at. I had a MakerBot replicator too, and after about 20 hours, where the zip tie is up here, it broke the ribbon of wires there. And I've been looking and seeing that a lot of other people have been having problems with the X-axis motor going out. So this was on Thingiverse too. I just temporarily put it in there to see where the best position is. And I'm going to actually screw some holes in here and screw it in place. And hardest part was snapping the links together and then feeding the two wires with the adapter through there, but you can get it done. So those are actually the two modifications I said I'd come back and show after getting the new bearings printed out yesterday. But wow, what a difference with the print quality so far. And this, you can't see, but when you look at that top layer there underneath the honeycomb, it looks pretty consistent, where before it would have about half-inch stripes where you could see the different paths where it kind of went back and forth. And a lot more precise. There's no flex in that rod that's up there, and made a huge difference. So I'll kind of get on the other side here and you can see maybe where that rod is. Oh, those lights are kind of bright. So it's kind of hard to get the cell phone in there. There it is. So this is Hobbytown bearings there. So that's my latest little upgrade. Took about, I don't know, about 2 hours to do the whole thing. Last night took probably 2 hours to do the chain after printing it out, and then another 2 hours to get the bearings in there and drill the holes and get them lined up right. So check back later and see what you think here. And so far for $7.50 and a few hours of work there, I think this is going to be actually in better shape than a MakerBot replicator dual.